I'm sick and tired of the establishment. So is everyone else I know.
Welcome back to the Tyrella Report. Today, I want to offer some of my thoughts on actor Elliot Page coming out as trans from the perspective of a trans person. So far, there's all the predictable reactions. Hollywood has been as supportive as you would expect it to be. Meanwhile, people like Ben Shapiro and Stephen Crowder have said what they would predictably say. There were also the trans skeptical feminists who had their own, well, unusual views. And then there were the socialists who used this occasion to reinforce the message that Page is a rich celebrity who has much more resources to deal with his transition than the average trans person, so class is still everything. While I'm not a socialist, the last point is something I want to dwell on more. I remember how, back in 2015, when Caitlyn Jenner came out, large sections of the trans community were worried that her perspective as a rich trans person would get the most airtime in the mainstream, and displace the voices of everyday trans people. I guess many of us are feeling something similar again right now. Thinking about it, the mainstream media likes to focus on trans people whose experiences are clearly very different from everyday trans people. You know, celebrities, sports people, beauty queens, politicians, and the like. It's not that I have anything against these people, it's that their issues are very different from everyday trans people. With Elliot Page, I have one particular worry about the potential excessive weight being applied to his narrative. You see, Page is not only a rich celebrity, he has also been an activist with very strong political views for many years. Not that there is anything wrong with having strong political views, I do too. But I'm worried that the way he sees the trans experience and the way he engages with the public as an ambassador for the trans community, whether he likes it or not, will be excessively colored by his activist beliefs. This, coupled with his lack of worry about the kind of financial matters that plague most trans people, means that his priorities could be very different from those of everyday trans people. I'm just worried that this would just further serve to paint a public image of trans people that is far removed from the struggles and priorities of everyday trans people. You know, it's time to return to the bread and butter issues in this ongoing trans conversation. Perhaps I'm just too worried. But trans people are already misunderstood enough as it is, with forces on both the left and the right wanting to use us as culture war political footballs. Just in the past year, everything from Trump versus Biden, to the Harper's free speech letter, to everything related to J.K. Rowling, had to have a trans angle to it. With the release of Jordan Peterson's new book next year, we are almost certain to get more unwarranted attention soon enough. All this builds up to a lot more misunderstanding about trans people in the world out there, with real trans people suffering all the consequences. We surely don't need yet more misunderstanding. That's all for today. I'll be back next time to discuss another big idea. Subscribe if you want to follow my conversations with other thinkers across the cultural and political spectrum. And remember to resist conformity and stay positive. The world depends on it.